congresswoman in South Africa. Before I came on board with the congresswoman, as Melissa knows, I was president of Women in Film and Video here in Washington. And one of the trips I took was I was working with Mayor Williams as a special assistant, my first foray into government. And I did get an opportunity to meet with the South African Film Commission. I think didn't I bring back a whole cadre of information at that time, which I have not put before the congresswoman yet, but it did clearly delineate from a, I think I met with the Film Commission from, it was either Cape Town, I think it was the Cape Town Film Commission, and they did have a very clearly delineated set of information and numbers and experiences which clearly outlined how the industry was impacting their communities and impacting the state of, even the country of South Africa, but also gave numbers on how independent filmmaking, how they were funding and subsidizing it, how people were going through the system to get the films made, and how they were facilitating them. I happened upon shooting when I was on my way to, I think I was on my way to was in Durban. And on the seaside, there was a Bollywood movie being filmed. And I talked to the producer and I said, well, why did you choose this place? And he said, well, because it looks like California, we're shooting it, and they were dancing on the beach, and I was like, wow. And they said, yeah, we're being subsidized by the South African government, but they facilitated us not only with the location scouting, with our budget, with bringing our crew in and everything. So also having worked briefly in the Italian film industry during my 10 years in Italy, I did find that from a subsidy standpoint, it's totally different from the United States. We have 51 states. We have many states to deal with here that have different ways of reaching out to potential filmmakers, be they independent ones or the major motion pictures, in terms of incentives, in terms of rebates, in terms of other programs. And from what I have seen looking at the whole country with the Congressional Entertainment Industries Caucus is that there is no clearly delineated group or organization that has gathered, as you're saying, this information. Because the way that Congress works is we go with numbers. If someone comes to me and meets with me and says, Dorinda, I have XYZ numbers that shows that the independent film industry creates XYZ jobs, has brought XYZ amount of money into the industry, has certain costs associated with them that are particular to the independent film industry that you don't know about, but let me educate you on it, then what I do is I basically take that information, when I put it all together, I take it to the congresswoman, who then says, okay, Dorinda, let's move on this, let's put forth legislation, or let's have a hearing, or let's have something. But if I have nothing in hand to work with, I can't pitch it, and nor can I facilitate it. So I agree with her that there needs to be some sort of centralized gathering of information nationwide that would gather information on what the independent filmmaking community is doing and how it impacts our economy, especially now, since we do have a president who is very keen on the filmmaking industry, who's very keen on transparency and openness. So as much information as can be derived from the various, I don't know if the film commissions could do it around the country. I know it's extra work for the film commissions. But if gathering information would facilitate getting Carnegie, the congressman who's in charge of the census committee, and basically say, can you add this? Yes. Because if no one brings it up as a vital component, no one's going to do anything about it. And it has, the information is key, as I know I meet many days with lobbyists on many different issues who come to me, but I have a particular penchant for the filmmaking industry, and I've been involved for years myself. And if I get the correct information and I can get it in a timely manner, I can make certain it goes to the proper channels, which you have to learn what these are here, and they can be very arduous. But if you have the right relationships, which I do have, to funnel them through the right way, normally if I get them, I present them to the congressman and say, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to proceed with it. She'll say, go ahead and make it happen. The Congress people they work here, but we're really the workers. So we're the ones who actually take the information and then turn it around and make something out of it. And then the congressperson signs off on it and it goes forward. So if there was that sort of information, if you could gather as much as possible.
Yeah, we'll get it for you. Thank you.
But as timely as possible. And this time, I guess up to 2009, it would help me to then put together something concrete where I can even say, let's have a briefing on this, or let's have something else where, and as you noticed, not many members of Congress are here today because they're having the joint session with Congressman, with Prime Minister Brown. But another one of my colleagues just came in from Bobby Rush's office, who has an interest in and she's an independent filmmaker also. So there are many people here on the Hill who are staff members who are into independent filmmaking and have an interest in your issues, but I need to bring them something concrete so that we can all get together and talk about it and make it happen. But with another nonprofit, where I think under my tenure we started the first time with fiscal sponsorship. There are other nonprofit entities across the country that if you align yourself under their umbrella, nonprofit entities, for example, right now in California, in our district, we're being approached by many of these nonprofits who are saying, hey, we'd like to request XYZ money for XYZ projects. But they are nonprofits, and as a result, they're able to ask for these earmarks and appropriations funds that can trickle down to them. But if you don't know how to do that, don't know that process, you're left out of the loop. That's money that comes directly from the federal government through the districts and trickles down to the each of the independent entities that are there, that are nonprofits or other fiscal sponsorship organizations. You have to learn the terminology and the routes you need to go to align yourself so that they get a small administrative fee at the top, for example, but you get your bulk of your money to be able to do what you want to do. And most people don't understand the process to go through to be in that pipeline so they can get that funding.
Yeah, I'm